Hey, Steve Clackle here. I'm a longtime MATA member, and I've been asked to present a short video series on apple tree pruning. We're going to make a couple of assumptions. One, that you're trying to manage a tree is a central leader type of a system. That's a trunk system with about 3 or 4 levels of branches, layers of branches, with about 3 or 4 branches in each one. A couple things you want to consider when you're trying to think about how to prune that tree is what variety it is, what rootstock it is, what spacing it might be in the orchard, whether the tree had a cropping history. Did it have apples last year? Is it in a good fruiting mode, or is it mostly vegetative? So all those things kind of influence how you might want to prune a tree. Most of you will be thinking about getting out in the orchards and pruning, so spring's a good time to think about it. The dead of winter, when it's really cold out, you have a risk of winter injury, and also the wounds on the tree won't heal as quickly. So spring's a great time to do it, particularly on the young trees. You really don't want to prune young trees much before the spring. Remember, the whole goal here is sunlight penetration in the tree. It takes good sunlight levels to produce the fruiting buds for next year's crop. And you're after a balance in the tree. We want apples and new vegetative shoots. You can see the growth on this tree, on how much it grew. You start out at the tip of the limb and you work your way all the way back to the growth ring. So you can see that tree grew quite a bit last year. Next year, some of these vegetative buds, or excuse me, this year, that were vegetative buds that were produced last year, will turn into fruit buds. And you can see that on this limb here. Here's a fruit bud, whereas these are vegetative in nature. So it takes 2 or 3 years to develop that new limb into a fruiting limb. And remember, as I said before, when that bud gets about 5 years old, it's really producing fruit of lesser quality. So you prune it out and you start the whole process over again. Pruning is a way to contain the tree into its own spot as well. So I'm pushing that tree back over where it belongs. I have to leave a little bit of room for the picker to get in here. And also, as I said before, you're after an open canopy. You want that for good spray penetration. Bugs you're trying to control, the diseases, so you can get total coverage on your leaves in there. Of course, pruning is a way to contain the size of the tree. We're watching the height of the tree. That tree's about as high as it's going to be. And then we think about the next limb up, and that end of the limb should be in this area, shorter than the other one. We're after a calm tree, one that has a balance between vegetative new wood and fruiting wood.